Zargon has returned. But light always follows darkness, and the four of you hold the key to saving the realm. The barbarian, the mightiest of warriors. The wizard, the wielder of arcane power. The dwarf, resilient fighter and expert craftsman. The elf, master of both the sword and magic. Your quest is to put an end to Zargon's reign of evil once and for all. The quest is calling.
The quest is calling indeed, guys. I'm so inspired by Avalon Hill and what are they doing in the HeroQuest world, guys. I'm so, excited, and I can't wait for, put more and more content for the old and the new HeroQuest. I was lucky enough to recover this. I got a bunch of this. This is, like foam. It's foam for packaging. At my work, in my lab, we just received a new tool, a new instrument. It was wrapped in a huge quantity of that foam. So I decided to cuddle a little bit my custom pieces from HeroQuest, and I create a box for organize everything. It was very simple, straightforward, nothing fancy, guys. Just I used my Proxon and I cut the foam. If you want to do something like that, remember to put some mask, because this kind of foam is like plastic, it's very toxic, and the fumes are very dangerous for your health, okay? So always put a mask. I was just measuring my tiles, and then I recovered the 3 layers for my custom box. That is this one. Let's check it out. So we got a first layer that fits perfectly, in which I can put my 4x4 tiles, my 3x5 tiles, which I have 3 of them. We have the 3x2. They are very interesting. I have some stairs, some bridge, the normal rooms, another bridge here, little bit of spoiler alert, guys, because I want to show you my 4x5 rooms, which are beautiful. And I have also a flooded one. And spoiler alert, if you have the Rise of the Dread Moon, you know why I have those. Again, spoiler alert, I have several flooded passages that are 5 inches long, so I'm gonna put them here. We have several pieces of 4 inches long corridors. They go like that, and we can also put a little bit here. And that's it for the first floor. Okay, we can also put this special 4x4 room without the corner here. So that's it for the first layer. Second layer, that's it. Okay. Just brand new, guys. Okay, let's start with the 5x2 corridors. So one, again, some strange tiles, you can see. This is a sewer with and without a bridge. A couple of flooded corridors, and another one, the normal one, like that. Then we have a couple of central room, a flooded one, like so, and a normal one, like so. Other 4 inches corridor pieces, they fit here, like so. As you can see, we have L-shaped corridors, 8 pieces. That's great. Perfect. Then we have 1, 2, and 3. 3 by 4 rooms. Then we have a lot of space for tokens and stuff, and I'm just gonna put them here. Usually I put also this T-junction like so. Then the final. I have not finished the new doors yet, but these spaces are for the doors. Close the doors. Open doors. They can fit perfectly. And these are my special cards, guys, which I will show you in a moment, okay? They can stay here, like so. I have space for my dice. Usually I use the white ones for the heroes and the red ones for Zargon or for the, monsters and stuff. And they can stay here like so. And then the custom rules, guys, which we are looking at in a moment. And they stay like so. Everything is flush. And then I created a cover with the, package of the Mage in the Mirror. And this is my HeroQuest box completed, guys. Let's have a look to my homebrew rules, guys, to, a little part of what I am doing with the new HeroQuest. Actually, I started this many years ago with the old one, but now it's the perfect time for, refresh my homebrew rules. Please leave a comment below if you are using also some, homebrew rules and what you think about mine, okay? Let's read it together. The first rule is that instead of an opponent, Zargon must transform into a real DM with all the benefits this can bring to a dungeon crawler. Character skills. Body is the score that represents the remaining life of the character, hero or monster. Once it drops to 0, the character is considered dead. The character's equipment will remain in the death box until the end of the quest, but you will see the specific rules at the end of this video. Mind is the score that represents the mental abilities of the character or monster. The monster's mind point have more limited use, but can still allow the monster to perform small tasks. Once a monster is killed, its mind points are collected by the hero who defeated it in the form of experience points. During the quest, each hero can collect experience points in 2 ways. By killing a monster, you collect as many XP as the monster's mind points, and finding XP tokens in the depth of the dungeon. Check further in this video for understand my table. There are 4 levels, and each character class will go through 4 phases of its evolution. The Barbarian, Step Barbarian, Tribe Chief, Barbarian Hero and Destroyer. Consider that every single level has modified body points, mind points, luck, and all the other abilities. The Dwarf, Stonebreaker, Manufacturer, Master Dwarf, and Hammer. The Elf, Wood Elf, Elf of Ariel, King of Runiel, Lord of the Elves. Magician, Scholar, Illusionist, High Sorcerer, Lord of Magic. Cleric, Religious, Illuminated, Savior, the Saint. Swordman, Knight, Hero of the Kingdom,
paladin. Vampirism can only be contracted during the adventure. If the hero is not cured in due time, he will transform into a common vampire. At that point, he will have to replace his character sheet, whatever it is, and whatever level he is at. You will be able to keep your equipment, with the exception of items that are sanctified or hostile to vampires. And this is a great add to, my gameplay. I like when you need to cure yourself from the vampirism. For all this class, I will use, not only the classic miniatures, but also some other miniatures that I have in my arsenal. And this is the very first add, luck. It is the score that indicates the probability of success in random situations, or in sudden and unplanned events, combat situation tests not passed with the simple individual skills, or situation with traps or unsafe passages, or planned by the dungeon master in the quest. By rolling 2d6, the hero will be lucky if the score is equal to or lower than his luck. Luck should not be confused with the dexterity, charisma, stealth, and locksmith skills. It can, however, be used when one of these 4 skills fails the check. In addition to body, mind, luck, and experience, there are 7 other skills that the Dungeon Master needs to check the heroes in tests of different nature. The other skills are Vitality, Force, Magic, Dexterity, Stealth, Charisma, and Lockpicking. For their use, I won't waste much time on descriptions, knowing that they are comparable to the skills described in D&D. Just be careful not to confuse Vitality with life points. Vitality allows you to resist magical effects or poison intoxication, or can give bonuses or penalties in case of healing or illness. Life points are those that decrease after each wound or damage suffered, until, when they drop to 0, they cause the character's death. Vitality, while on the one hand it does not vary in certain contexts, can however undergo changes during the adventure, reducing in the case of serious wounds or increasing in the case of taking special potions or using particular artifacts. The hero can move, attack, explore. Exploring means searching for treasure, traps, or secret passages. The movement of the character varies depending on whether you play the classic HeroQuest or homemade RPG adventures. In the case of a classic HeroQuest, stick to the indicated movement in the established turns. If the DM sees that there are no more monsters in the quest, he leaves free movement to the heroes. They will move the maximum score allowed by their level and class. In RPG adventures of another nature, always follow what is indicated on the character and monster sheets. The movement can be made before or after an attack action, if combat is over, or before or after an exploration action. Each trap hides a particular danger and you must follow the game manual. Once identified, however, a trap can be avoided by passing a dexterity check. For all other situations, follow the game instruction or what is reported in the DM's quest. Once a secret passage has been identified, the hero will have to step on the token to see the content of the discovered room. If the token is placed inside the uncovered room, it will be mandatory to take a step into the room to reveal this content. If the secret passage is outside, it is possible to take a peek, as in the case of ajar doors. Instead of opening a door completely, a hero can decide to leave it ajar. A stealth check must be passed. If passed, the hero will be able to see the entire contents of the room if the door is in one of the corner spaces of the room. See half of the content of the room of your choice if the door is positioned outside the corner. The monsters will be revealed but will not take any action as they are furtively caught by surprise. You can use ranged weapons through an ajar door, but bows and crossbows work normally. Daggers, axes, and spears will only work after a dexterity check. At the end of his turn, the hero will have to decide whether to close the door or leave it open. If you fail the peek, fail stealth check, or if you fail to throw a weapon other than a bow and a crossbow, failed dexterity check, the door will be thrown open and all the contents of the room will be shown. The player's turn, including movement, ends, and the hand passes to monsters. The hero can, at the beginning or at the end of his turn, search for treasures. Each hero can search for treasure inside a room, thus meaning that the search takes place in the walls, between the cracks in the floor, etc. Each piece of furniture in the room can be analyzed separately for treasure, but only once and by the first hero who decides to examine that piece of furniture in search of treasure. Remember that to search for a treasure in the room, it will be sufficient to be in any of the squares in that room. To search for treasure in a particular piece of furniture, however, it is necessary to be in one of the squares adjacent to the piece of furniture, excluding the diagonal squares. The combat rules are the classic HeroQuest ones, with some addition. When a hero or a monster gets only skulls during an attack, they can attempt to perform a Master Strike. It can be based on strength or dexterity. For a strength-based Master Stroke, the hero must roll the dice as indicated on the character sheet by their strength multiplier and obtain a result exclusively lower than their strength score. For a dexterity-based Master Stroke, the hero must roll the dice as indicated on the character sheet by their dexterity multiplier and roll only less than their dexterity score. For a Master Stroke, a monster will have to roll yet another combat die. If the result is an evil shield, the strike will be successful. If the blow is successful, the opponent will not be able to defend himself and will lose all the life points corresponding to the attacker's skulls. For defense, spells and magical defense weapons are an exception. In that case, you can roll the defense dice corresponding to those magical artifacts. Whenever it's possible, a hero can ask the DM to exploit tactical situations due to the presence of furniture, traps, and particular dungeon layouts on the battlefield. The DM will have to subject the hero to a dexterity check, for example, to jump on a table, and each successful test will guarantee to the hero the roll of an extra die in attack or defense. Attention, particular situations are to be considered dynamic but still realistic, and should not be approached lightly or with excessive fury. It will be the DM's experience that will best manage the hero's request with the right realism. And here we have special rules for some piece of furniture. Table, torture rack, and tomb if closed guarantee attack +1 and defense +1. Fireplace, if lit, once placed in an adjacent space, it will be possible to throw burning pieces of wood. Wizard, elf, and cleric can dedicate themselves to study, to recover a spell already used. To do this successfully, they will have to draw from the treasure deck a number of cards equal to the sum of their mind points with the number of spells already used. For the study to be successful, no cards containing wandering monster must be drawn, otherwise the study will have failed. The treasure cards will then be returned on the deck. If specified within a quest, the heroes will be able to find particular ingredients in the dungeon. The DM will have the recipe for these ingredients and will tell the heroes if, once they arrive to the desk, they will be able to create a given potion. With a strength check, it will be possible to overturn cabinets and bookcases onto monsters, immediately causing 1 point of damage not defendable. For this move, the hero will have to find a place adjacent to the short side of the wardrobe or bookcase, and the monster will have to be adjacent to one of the long sides. Once overturned, cabinets and bookcases will occupy 6 spaces and will be considered the same as a table. With the test of strength, it will be possible to throw a chest at the distance dictated by the roll of a d6. The chest will cause damage of 2 combat dice. Each hero can, between one adventure and another, stock up on weapons, potions, and equipment. The cost of that specific items is indicated on each card. The player must have enough gold to be able to afford the purchase of the piece of equipment. Each character can carry up to a maximum of 20 items, excluding clothing and armor. Armor, capes, cloaks, boots, and other items of clothing, if worn, do not count towards the total of 20. Each item must be worn thinking of a realistic way of doing so. It is forbidden, for example, to wear armor over another. Gold and jewels can be accumulated without limits. If you purchase a pouch, you gain space for 10 other objects. There are some exceptions. When a character is killed, all the equipment remains in the space of his death, using the appropriate token, and can be collected by another hero or a monster. If the monster is not killed by the end of the quest, the equipment will be lost. If no one collects the equipment by the end of the quest, the DM will be able to choose whether to declare the equipment lost or save it within the quest for any hero returning to that dungeon. The equipment remains in the hero's inventory between one quest and another one, even if they are not part of the same narrative thread or campaign. And these are my monster cards. Now a fast look to my treasure cards. And these are my equipment cards.
Okay guys, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Help me guys, I need your help. If you want to sustain me and have a lot of new and very exclusive content, you can subscribe on Patreon. Patreon is the best way to support my channel and to allow me to, bring you always new and fresh and cool content, okay? Till next time, happy crafting!